I was born in Pakistan in a big family. My mom's side of the family raised me. School was hard for me, really hard for me. I was skinny. I wasn't confident in myself. I was always getting in trouble. So I remember I got into sports. It was annual sports day, year three. I couldn't place. It was a sprint race. Then I wanted to win so bad that I would race every single kid in my class up until I beat the fastest kid. 2 years later, I won the overall races and I kept winning for 4 years. The pressure of studying was always behind me. There was a time I would get bullied every single day. Every single day. I thought I wasn't good looking because I was really skinny and my dad would always put me down, um, you know, saying that, compare me to other kids, like, look at my friend's son or look at someone in the family. You don't eat, you don't do anything. I grew my hair long just so that I can hide my face, cover my insecurities. Then this one time, one of my friends rocked up. He'd been going to the gym for 2 weeks and he flexed and I could see a small bicep peak and I'm like, man, if he can get that in 2 weeks, I can do something. I can possibly do something. So I started going to the gym with him. And what my dad did was he bought me the yearly membership. So then again, it was all on me. So I couldn't just go to the gym for a month and then stop because he's paid for the yearly membership. And I had to go every day. First month into the gym, I started seeing changes in the mirror. 6 months into the gym, when I finally started to see a few changes, I got so driven. I couldn't drive. I was 16 and a half, 17. So I used to walk in the Middle East, the heat in the Middle East. When I look back at 40 minutes to 35 minutes every day just to train at the gym and up and down. That's how much I wanted it. So the kid who used to bully me, I was almost bigger than him then. We had mutual friends, so he came to bully me and we got into a fight and then we decided to have a one-on-one. Mind you, I was scared from the inside, but I didn't know I had to do it. We had a fight one-on-one. He threw a punch at me and I still remember I just somehow dodged the punch. And the punch, the counter punch I threw at him was me beating the old Ali, the scared Ali, the anxious Ali, the insecure, traumatized kid, and I beat the living hell out of him. It sounds bad, but this is what I wanted to do. I beat him until he was on the floor. That's when I beat myself. That when Ali Raza was born, people started fearing me, and then things changed. So my dad finally decided to send me back to Pakistan in 2010. I went to Pakistan. The first thing I did was look for a gym. Because something that's changed me and given me a new identity, I would have never given up on my gym. But I felt like I was in a prison because I was controlled. I couldn't do what I loved. 2012, my dad decided to send me to Australia, even though it was the best decision of my life. But I couldn't leave my family for one more time, because I got two brothers and one sister, which I loved. Because when we were in the Middle East, my youngest brother is like a baby to me. Couldn't leave him, couldn't leave my mom, because my mom looked after me a lot. Because my mom knew that what I was going through, she thought that the best she can do is look after me. She did look after me. Oh, 2012, 25th of May is when I arrived in Australia. My professor Mark, he asked me once, why are you late to the class? And I couldn't lie to him. I'm like, because I was training and I wanted to sleep 8 hours. He goes, if this is what you love, then why don't you just do this? I'm like, my family won't understand. But for me, money, I hated money because I had money, but I had no family, no love. I'll give all that money for the time I missed out on my dad. But yeah, I started I dropped out of uni 2013. My dad stopped paying me. He goes, "You're on your own." I remember it was August or September, close to after my birthday. I got kicked out of the house because I couldn't pay the rent. I was living in the farm for 2 weeks. And it was winter, it was cold. My mom would call me because she knew there was something wrong. But I couldn't tell her that I was sleeping on the street. No matter what job I did, I just wanted to go and train. It made me feel better, bring back all the memories. And then it was 2014. I was doing alright, you know. Meeting my missus was the best thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Without her, I would have been a mess. Because she was born in Australia, she understood the ways and she knew what mental abuse and everything was. Helped me get through everything. She never puts me down. She told me you could do anything. Beside my mom, she's the only one who's told me that you can do anything. So we got married. We were living in a house, literally sleeping in a single bed with 3 other families in the house. And now I'm sitting over here in my house with my missus who's pregnant, and I have a son.
Ali is a very interesting person. He is an extremely committed, passionate person about what he does. What he does comprises 95% of who he is as a person, and everything else has to be subordinate to that. But yeah, after over 5 years, he's proved himself to be a really great husband, a really great father, a great friend, and somebody who is now making his dreams come true.
Ali is an interesting fellow. He's quite a personality. He's got a great physique. He's a family man. He's goal orientated. He's got a good sense of humor. There's a lot to Ali. There's a really long history. And when you get to know him, you get to find out why he's as driven as he is and why he is successful at almost everything he puts his mind to. So Ali's a complex, entertaining, talented, and intelligent individual. One of the main reasons I think Ali's going to be really successful is when we first started working together, we identified weak points in his body. And normally when you've got a genetically gifted athlete like Ali, things come easily to them. And I know some of his development does. His shoulders and his chest become very easy for him to develop. But we specifically set out to bring up his one particular body part, and that was his back. And Ali pursued that like a man possessed, and it's that level of commitment which is going to see him go all the way to the top.
Well, Ali's been competing in our shows for a few years now in the physique division. And I, from day one, I thought this guy's got huge potential. You know, he's right on the border of physique and bodybuilding. But as the physique category has progressed, it's suited his body type more and more. I think that what makes Ali unique is his drive and his passion, and you know, his vision to be the very best that he can be. You know, from day one, this guy's had a very clear direction.
I certainly believe he's a pro in weighting, and I do believe that he can be very successful as a pro because of the things I touched on before in terms of his physical talents and his psychological ones. He's relentless in his pursuit of a goal. He knows exactly what it's going to take to reach the next level, and I think he's going to do everything that's necessary of him.
Everybody in the pro level's got an amazing physique, so the depth is incredible. So I think this is going to be the next step for him, and he gets through that, he wins the show, he's on his way to the Olympia.
turning pro means everything to me. If something has given me so much respect, a new name, recognition, a new meaning to life, I cannot live it. I cannot leave this sport. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. Maybe I was 4 years ago when I was immature. Now I do it because it's here, it's engraved in my heart. I love it. I love discipline and everything in it, you know, and I'll keep doing it. What I've learned is you believe in yourself, you put in the work, you will get rewarded. Sooner or later, you get rewarded. You can't just say it, you gotta do it. There were times like I would work 12 hours, look after my family and train. You know, I'm still in the process of pleasing my family. I wish they know they are proud from the inside. I want to make them more proud.
And I'm extremely proud of him as well. When I see how hard he works, it's not just about how we don't have time together or how we can't enjoy our lives together. It's just a feeling of immense pride that I have for him when I see him going to the gym twice a day or 3 times a day, how he is sweating and starving and angry and frustrated and upset. I know why he's doing it. I know how much it means to him, and I know that he's doing it for me and he's doing it for our son, and he's doing it to make our lives better and to improve everything for us.
And your winner, Ali Raza. Congratulations, mate. Very proud of you. There's 2 things I'm going to invite you to do. 3, to become an Ifbb Pro, which is accepted. 2, I'm going to invite you to come on stage at the Arnold Classic in Melbourne, Australia, to make your pro debut in our first ever Physique Pro competition.
I accepted 3 times. Coming from Pakistan, I always wanted to be the first Pakistani men's physique pro. That was my dream. Only because, you know, it's not as easy. My parents weren't as understanding. I wasn't blessed with the most understanding parents because typically they wanted me to be an engineer or a doctor. But I want to tell this to my family and all the people in my country. There's 1 million engineer, 1 million doctors, but there's only one Ifbb men's physique pro, and that's just on Ali Raza Dad.
Ali Raza!